All right, so good evening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being on Thai Camila. As always, I'm going to start this class with you, right? It's Friday. I hope that your partners joined the class. Perhaps they went partying. But anyway, we have to continue. The first thing I'm going to do, as it's Friday, we have to assign the quiz, right? Let's remember that today, 11:59 p.m., that's the due date to finish Unit 3. All the assignments for Unit 3 must be finished today until 11:59 p.m. maximum, and until Sunday, because I'm going to assign it right now, you're going to have to finish and to take the third quiz. Okay, so let me do it now with you. I'm going to make it visible and assign, as always, quiz number 3. This quiz has every week except for the final test, right? The final test is only until Saturday, but all quizzes like this quiz are until Sunday, 11:59 p.m. and 50 minutes as always. There you go. It's already assigned. Just to see how you're doing in general in Gradebook, you can see that now you have 2 out of 3. It means that the third quiz is there for you to take it. Most of you were able to finish, right? Most of the assignments. The ones who were not able to do it, please try to work on that today so that you can finish and your score is not going to be affected by it, right? Because right now it's not noticeable, but once the time's out, all right, one is let's say 1 minute after 11:59 p.m., you're going to see the total score. And if you didn't complete your assignments, that's going to be affected by it. All right, that's everything related to Pearson. That's the first part. The second part is reviewing a little bit about past perfect. We finished with this one, but I'm just going to review this very quickly. It seems only with you, Camila, and well, Mauricio and Joanna are also here. Very, very quickly, because after this review, I want to work on a writing exercise. Okay, you're going to write something today because we are working very good. Let me see what we need to cover. Yes, we have one more topic and then the next lesson. It's good. So let's work on the review, please, the three of you. As perfect. The question is for you, then Mauricio. All right. What do you remember about this lesson? We already covered past perfect. In general, what can you tell me about the lesson? Any idea that comes to your mind, Mauricio? What do you say?
Sorry, teacher, I didn't hear you call my name.
All right, don't worry, Mauricio. So again, in general, right, we covered this on Wednesday. What can you tell me about this lesson in your own words? What you remember about it?
Past perfect is a tense used when you're talking about some action or some fact that happens before another action.
Thank you, Mauricio. Good. That's a good introduction, right? It's always a past action that happened before another past action. Good. The next one is for you, reader, please. Reader, what expressions do you remember that we can use with past perfect, right? An expression, I'm going to give an example, can be by, all right? By and a date, by 1990. What other expressions do you remember, reader?
Um, Before, after, yet.
Okay, before, after, and yet is going to be like an emphasizer, right? It's also, yes, we can call that an expression in the middle, but good, before and after. And that emphasizer, yet. So the next question goes to that part, and it's for you, Camila. Thank you, reader. Camila, talking about emphasizers, we have three that we covered yesterday. One of them was yet. Do you remember some other emphasizers before yet?
Already and never.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Camila. Already and never. And that's it. All right, that's what you need to remember. Past perfect, always the first or the earlier action in a set of past events. You can use the past perfect and it's better if you use it with expressions like by the time, right? By the time you arrived, I had already eaten this or that. When you arrived, I had already eaten that. Before you arrived, I had already eaten that. After I had eaten that, comma, right, you arrived. So that's past perfect. And yet, for negative sentences, right, I hadn't finished that yet. Never is in affirmative sentences, but with negative idea, right? I had never done it before. And already for affirmative ideas to say that something happened before expected. I had already finished that. Okay, so that's the review. Now, most of you are here, that's great. Let's work with this writing practice, please. Instead of doing it at the end, I'd rather do it now so that I can check all of your ideas with time, all right? And then we check the lesson. So please, all of you, Camila, Mauricio, Reader, everybody that is here, Joanna, Adriana, let's go to the document, please. Some of you perhaps are already here. If not, I'm sharing the link. In the meantime, please, just in case at the beginning of the class, I already assigned the quiz. So please remember that you have until today, 11:59 p.m. to complete the assignments for third unit and until Sunday to take the third quiz. All right, don't forget about that, please. So the link is in the chat. And over there, please, you're going to do the following. Again, we're going to give ourselves, as previously, 5 minutes. All right, we're going to give us 5 minutes. And I want you to write as much as you can about a past story. It can be your story about something, all right? When I was younger, I used to do this and that. I remember that once we went, right, my family and I went to, I don't know, the US, went to Santa Cruz, to La Paz, to Cochabamba, and so on and so on, right? Tell me a story. It can be yours, or it can be anybody's story. Everything in past. You can use simple past, you can use past perfect, you can use present perfect, you can use past continuous, okay? You can use used to, right, for past habits. All the tenses and all the structures that you remember for past, please, guys. Okay, all the tenses, but everything in past. In these 5 minutes, write as much as you can, and we are going to check. Let me know, please, if you have any questions. The only purpose for this writing exercise is to see how you're working with past tenses and to see how you're improving the usage of punctuation marks. Any questions before starting? Let me know, please. No, all right. So let's do it, please. Again, 5 minutes, pass a story about you, about anybody. Let's work on that, please. 5 minutes. Okay, you can write it directly in this document. Okay, no problem. You can write it here directly. Okay, we have 1 more minute, but again, before finishing, remember, I just wrote some rules. You can take a look at that. Again, this is something extra we are seeing because I want to help you writing. You have rules for using comma, all right, the most important ones, for using semicolon and for using period. Okay, so if you want to improve the usage of punctuation marks, you can take a look at that. Keep working, please. We're going to check. Okay, now let's check. It's even more. Okay, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. But I want to begin before checking your ideas by reading this for you, all right? This is something you're going to see in detail in A13. Don't worry. But I saw, because of previous courses, that it's important that you can start learning these ideas even before. Not in a formal way, because this is not part of the contents, but like this, like something extra while you're practicing your writing. Remember, if you want to use commas, right, one option to use commas is with fanboys, right? Complete idea, subject, verb, complement, comma, fanboy, and, but, so, yet, for, and so on. And complete idea, okay? Complete idea, comma, fanboy, complete idea. The other way to use comma is introductory phrases, right? Yesterday, comma, before I started, comma, all right? Introductory phrases, comma, and the complete idea. Remember, if it's not the subject, then you need a comma, all right? If the first idea is not the subject, you need a comma. Here, you don't have to use commas. It's also very important. When, if, when, while, because, when they are in the middle, don't use commas, right? Complete idea, if, when, while, because, complete idea, no comma. But you use the comma, right, when that is at the beginning of the sentence. If, when, while, because, complete idea, comma, the second complete idea. All right, in that case, you use the comma. Semicolon, the same, complete idea, semicolon, complete idea. You don't need fanboys, you don't need and, so, but, okay, no need for you doing that. Of course, there are exceptions. I told you some of them. Semicolon with transitional words and phrases, right? Complete idea, semicolon, however, nonetheless, as a result, thus, notwithstand, right? Transitional words or phrases. Comma, and the next part. With period, the same, complete idea, period, complete idea, no connectors, and complete idea, period, transitional phrase, comma, complete idea. All right, so this is the way more or less that you can structure your ideas. So with that mentioned, let's try to check what you did, please. I don't know, you are here? No, Rodrigo is not here. Mauricio, let's check until the part, okay, until that part. Let's read everything, please, that you got, and we're going to see how you did.
Okay, teacher. When I was 15 years old, I went to Sweden with my grandparents. It was an amazing trip. We stayed in Sweden for an entire month. The first days were so exciting. We went to an amusement park called Liseberg. There was this enormous building atmosphere that was a very tall tower where you were sitting and it's supposed to rise until the top. Once you were there, it will wait for a couple of seconds and fall suddenly in like 3 seconds. There was one of the most amazing.
Perfect. Thank you, Mauricio. Then you're going to continue writing, but let's check up to that part. Okay. So in this part, you can have ideas with commas. It's correct because they are clauses, right? You call independent clauses and dependent clauses, right? How do you know that? If at the beginning of your idea or in the middle you have words like when, while, before, after, if, right? If you have those words, even because, it means that you're working with independent clauses and dependent clauses, right? So you can use commas to divide those two. So here it's correct, right? In the next part, though, it was an amazing trip, comma, we stayed in Sweden for an entire month. That's not a clause. That's not independent clause. It means that the first idea doesn't depend on the second idea, and the second idea doesn't depend on the first idea. And if that's the case, we cannot use commas. All right, then again, if you see that there's a good connection between them, instead of period, my advice would be semicolon. All right, why? Because again, subject verb complement, subject verb complement. The only 3 ways to join those 2 ideas, Mauricio, would be with semicolon, with period, or with comma and fanboy. But if you don't want to use a fanboy, then semicolon would be okay. Semicolon is the closer to a comma, right there. Then period. The first days were so exciting. If you realize also, comma, we want to, it means again, the first idea doesn't depend on the next one and the same, right? Vice versa. Then the same idea will apply over here. If you feel that they are connected, semicolon. If you feel that you can have something in between them, you can use a fanboy with comma, or you can use after the semicolon a transitional word, right? You can say the first days were exciting, semicolon. We went to, for instance, you can say, okay, something like that. That's a transitional word or phrase. For instance, for example, additionally, nonetheless, nevertheless, however. But again, if you don't want to use any connector, then it would be the semicolon, but no the comma. Then here, again, if you feel that this is connected to the previous one, but not as much as the first sentence, then you can keep this one, or you can change even to period, all right? And you can say, there was this enormous building. Remember, now we're going to apply this rule. If you're going to use something with quotes, we're going to locate the punctuation mark inside. All right, building. Yes, you can say whose name. It's better to grab that idea. That was very tall. Now, this is something interesting. If you are using a proper name, for example, atmosphere, it means that the optional idea is never going to be with that. Okay, that's a grammatical mistake. It's always going to be with which. Okay, with what? A very tall tower where you were sitting, and it was supposed to. Okay, but you only say it was supposed to if it's something that didn't happen at the end. Okay, if it happened, then I would change the expression. And here, which was very tall, where you were sitting, comma, and it was supposed to rise until the top. That's the end of the idea, right? Period. Then, of course, capital letter. Once you were there, comma, right? Because that's one idea. Once you were there, what's the correction over here? Once you are there. No, you're telling a past experience. And yes, this is the correction because you're using will. So my advice here then would be also, Mauricio, if you're using past tenses, it's better to keep the past tenses. If you use past here, then you can use, for example, would over here, or change that directly to past, okay? Once you were there, or once you are there, you wait for there. So you have to choose between using only past structures, or you can mix present with future. But then it's a decision that you need to make, all right? As the next part is will, you have to use are here. Once you are there, you will wait for a couple, blah, 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 right? And fall suddenly in like 3 seconds. So that's more or less up to that part. That's my idea and my correction, Mauricio. Let me know, please, if you have any questions about these ideas.
Teacher, why is a period here?
Okay, so let me see. It was supposed to rise until the top once you are there. You're telling me that there's a connection between this part then. Is this
Yes.
part of the previous explanation? Okay, so let me see, because the way it is, it seems that it's like something else, like another part of the explanation. It was supposed to rise until the top. Yes, because that's one idea. If you realize, then you're telling me, once you are there, it will wait for a couple. So it's like parts of a sequence, Mauricio. If you use once, you are giving the idea of a new part of the sequence. And for using once, then you need to use semicolon or a period. All right, because again, if you're using once, you're telling me that that's the beginning of another idea. Okay, so you can say this, right? To get into this career, you have to do this and that, period. Once you do all of that, comma, you can do this and that and that. All right, you always have to use this idea because it's the next part of your sequence of actions. It will be incorrect if you use once closed or together with the previous part, Mauricio. I don't know if more or less you understand that point.
Yes, teacher, I got it.
All right, again, sequence of actions, period or semicolon. Once that happens, once the previous information happened, then this is next, blah, 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 period, right? And once you finish with all of that, then this is the last step, and period. All right, so more or less that will be it. Let me know if you have any other questions or comments, Mauricio.
No, teacher.
All right, thank you very much. Again, if it's not clear or you can accommodate, because the way it is stated here, Mauricio, it makes like very hard to connect this with the previous one, unless you look a different way to connect those two ideas. If you find a good way, it's possible to use once, of course, at the end of the idea, right? You can do it once you finish with that. In that case, it's possible to use once at the end. But here, it doesn't seem that once is connected to the previous one. It seems like the starting point of the next idea. All right, it depends again how you structure that one, and it can change. All right, take a look at that. If you have more ideas, you can let me know, Mauricio. Then let's continue working. This is yours, Camila. Let's read yours, please.
Okay. When I was 20, I traveled to Romania and Turkey. This was my first solo trip. The adventure began in Cochabamba, where I had to take a plane to Santa Cruz, and after a plane to Miami. 7 hours and a lot of emotions later, I was in the US. This was my first technical layover. When I was little, I used to visit Miami Beach with my dad when we were in the States. For that reason, I decided to go and have a good time there after leaving my bags at the hotel. 24 hours later, I was on the third plane with Istanbul as a destination. The journey was really interesting because it was the longest time that I had been in a plane. When I arrived in Istanbul, my aunt was waiting for me at the airport to take my fourth and last plane for a while. 4 hours later, I was in Cluj, a beautiful city in Romania. I spent 10 days there learning about the city, the culture, and their surroundings. The adventure did not finish, and our second vacation place was Turkey. Those days were incredible. We knew a place called Hagia Sophia. This was the largest Christian church of the Eastern Roman Empire. After the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire, it was converted into a mosque. There you can see a mix of cultures and traditions where the Catholic symbolism blends with the Muslims' traditions.
Great. Thank you very much, Camila. Great. Very interesting, very complex. You got to write a lot of information. I can see that you, can manage this complex writing. Thank you, Camila. All right, so let's check details. Everything is good. I only saw details related to commas. All right, that's the only thing, because later on, everything seems to be very well structured, how you use the clauses and everything. But let's begin. Good. In this first part, the comma is because you're using an adjective clause, right? Where is an adjective clause? Comma, where. And it's with comma because Cochabamba is a proper name, right? In Santa Cruz. So where I had to take a plane to Santa Cruz and after a plane to Miami. So this idea can be structured in a different way because you first are given an example about Cochabamba, right? This where I had to take a plane, right, to go to Santa Cruz. It's something that happened in Cochabamba, right? And then when you're in Santa Cruz, you had to take the plane to Miami. So I would say that after Santa Cruz, the information is not part of Cochabamba anymore. It's part of Santa Cruz or something extra. So my advice would be to set a comma over here and after, but not only after. If you only say after, it will be like incorrect grammatically. If you don't have an object after, it's better if you say, and afterwards, right, a plane to Miami. Again, that's advisable whenever you don't use any object after the word after. All right, then, good 7 hours and a lot of, okay, yes, and emotions later, comma, good, that's introductory phrase. Good, the end, semicolon. Dun, 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 dun. When I was little, right, comma, I used to visit Miami Beach with my dad when we were in the States. Good. For that reason, comma, yes. So I decided and have no comma over there. Good. Here, 24 hours later, right? That's time reference. That's a time expression. In other words, that's introductory phrase, comma, right? I was on dun, 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 because it got no comma over there. When I, comma, period, yes, a beautiful, this is clarification. This is not a complete sentence, right? When it's clarification, when it's a phrase, it's possible to use comma. If it was like a complete sentence, it would be incorrect, okay? But in this case, if it's a phrase, it's possible. Good. Here, this comma, again, I think I told you, this is called the Oxford comma, okay? What is the Oxford comma? Is when you have more than 2 items, okay? So first is the city, then is the culture, and then their surroundings. As you have 3 items, you are going to use comma before and, okay? We don't use comma before and, we only have 2 items. But if you have more than 2, then you need to use comma, not only with and, also with or, for example. All right, then, in this case, again, this is something extra. It mainly applies to direct or indirect speech, but it's also a good idea when you use quotation marks to set the period or the punctuation mark in English inside the punctuation mark. All right, period, quotation mark, and then the next part. All right, to the mosque. There, if you see there is not the subject, it's being used as a reference to something. There, in that place, comma, you can see, right? Because it's not the subject. Where the traditions could blend, because this is also extra explanation. I think that's it in terms of the corrections, Camila. Again, it was very good, very complex, very interesting. Do you have questions about those details? Let me know, please.
No, teacher. Actually, I didn't know about the Oxford comma, so it was interesting to know that.
Great, that's Camila. Thank you very much. Good. Let's continue working, please. Cufer, you're not here. This is yours, Adriana. Let's read yours, please, Adriana.
When I was 19, I traveled to Brazil. I won this trip because I had participated in a volunteer program to teach in Brazil. I had now many places, for example, Corcovado, the stairs of Celeron, Copacabana, and other places. I went with my friend. She had participated also, but she applied for a volunteer with animals. This was very exciting for us. Also, this experience was very good for us. We had know about culture and how to live alone. Also, we had made many friends. The Brazilians are very friendly and funny. I have good memories about this experience.
Thank you very much, Adriana. Again, let's check the details, all right? I see that we're using the rules that we know and they are good. When clause, right? When I was 19, the second part, right? Because they depend on each other to give the idea that you want to give. Very good. I want this trip because I had participated. Here you're using past perfect, and that's great. Okay, you got to use past perfect. Here is very good. Okay, in this first part, because this action happened before the winning, right? First you participated and then you won the trip. Of course, it works like that. Okay, but I'm putting emphasis on that because I want you to see the connection between one action and the other action. Then here, always with capital letter, right? Brazil. Now, this next part, Adriana, I wouldn't recommend to use past perfect because there's no contrast, okay? There's no other event that happens second. You're only giving me one idea in past perfect, right? I had known many places, for example, Corcovado, the stairs of this place, Copacabana, and other places, right? But you are not telling me another event that happens second, like in contrast, all right? The past perfect is only good to use when you have something that shows that is the contrast or the second idea that happens afterwards. As in this case, you don't have, perhaps you can only say one of these expressions, Adriana. I knew, or, sorry, or you can say I got to know. That is like saying llegué a conocer. All right, one of those two. Why again? Because past perfect is only good when you have two parts. Okay, the first part and the second part, the first part and the second part. In this case, it doesn't apply. So I got to know many places. That's one idea, okay? That's one complete idea. For example, in English, follows after period or semicolon, okay? Always. So it's going to be semicolon. It's going to be incorrect if you say only comma before, for example, all right? So semicolon or period, for example, comma, this one, the stairs of Celeron. I imagine that this is a place, I don't know, okay? I don't know Brazil. So I imagine this is a place, Celeron, Copacabana. This is our list of items, right? So this first, then the stairs of Celeron, then Copacabana, and again, as I said to Camila, right? The Oxford comma is the comma before the other item when you have more than two items. So Corcovado, the stairs of Celeron, Copacabana, and other places, 4 items. So comma before and. All right, period, good. I went with my friend. You see, that's a very short idea, but that's a complete idea. So the next part, it's another complete idea. So don't be afraid of using periods over here. All right, so it's going to be, sorry, my mistake. Over here, good, capital letter, right? So I was with my friend, period. She had, or if you feel that they are connected, again, use semicolon. Using semicolon and period is always up to you, okay, up to the writer. She had participated also. Okay, this is past perfect, good, because I imagine that she also participated before the trip. Okay, so there's a contrast over there. So it's good to use past perfect. But don't use also at the end. When you have also in complex ideas, when you have auxiliary and verb, use it in the middle. Okay, she had also participated. But you are in past, right? Apply is present, but she applied, right? For a volunteer with animals, it's saying, what is the correction over here? To be, for a volunteer. Okay, here you're using volunteer, but if you want to use like the noun, all right, volunteer, all right, for volunteering. There you go, okay, because for a volunteer is para un voluntario. For volunteering, para un voluntariado, something like that, okay? Applied for volunteering with animals. This was very exciting. Again, instead of using also at the end, use comma. This was very exciting. This experience was very good for us. We had known about, again, here there is no action after this. So you don't need to use past perfect for this one. Again, the two options, we knew or we got to know. Again, the difference is like saying yo conocí or llegué a conocer, about the culture and how to live alone. Also is the beginning of a new idea in English, the same. Semicolon also is not the subject, right? When it's not the subject, comma. We had made many friends. Again, right? If there is no second activity, then my recommendation, only simple past. Also, we made many friends. That's the end of your idea. The Brazilians are very friendly and funny. That's also connected, so you can use semicolon. And there you go. The Brazilians are very friendly and funny. Good. No comma because only two items, right? Friendly and funny. I have good memories, right, from this experience or about this experience. I think that's it, Adriana. Let me know, please, if you have any questions about my suggestions or corrections, Adriana.
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Again, I do this in front of everybody. I know that for some of you, this doesn't make sense, but I know that also some of you are paying attention to what I'm saying to your partners, because if you pay attention to those rules, believe me that you can have a good score in any international test, all right, if you're going to take any test. Anyway, if you're going to study abroad, you're going to study in the US, also you need to follow these rules, all right? It's important to know these rules. Then, Joanna, let's read yours, please, Joanna.
When I went to visit my mom last month, I bought some gift for my friend. She has exciting for the gift because the gift was sent to my mom. As soon as I arrived to my mother's house, she invited to pass in the kitchen. I was preparing the dinner while my father was telling me everything he had done at work. And my sister didn't learn to drive the car since that they bought the past year.
Thank you, Joanna. Great. Again, I see very few details, Joanna. In general, again, you were able to connect the ideas with good punctuation rules, okay? Few exceptions. So when I went to visit my mom last month, comma, the second clause, right? I bought some gifts for my friend. Then here, colon is only when you give detailed information about the last word or the last idea, right? For example, you can say, Bolivia is composed of 9 cities, colon, right? And you say La Paz, Cochabamba, Santa Cruz, Oruro, blah, 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 right? So you're giving that one. If not, only period, all right? Even though it's related, it's not describing the last information. It's only adding. So period or semicolon or comma with a family. All right, one of the rules. She was excited for the gift because the gift was sent to my mom. Okay, as soon as I arrive. Here, if you only say arrive, then this is going to be for a future idea. But as this is past, then as soon as I arrive at my mother's house, all right? After arrive, yes, many people say arrive too, but the right thing to say is you arrive in a place. You arrive at a place, all right? At or in is the best. As soon as I arrived at my mother's house, and we use at because it's a specific. Yeah, cada que el lugar sea específico, at. She invited who? You always need an object, Joana, siempre un objeto en inglés. ¿Invitó a quiénes? A nosotros puede ser. She invited us. Instead of us to the kitchen, it's better you say she invited us to go to the kitchen, all right, or to join them in the kitchen. Some of them, all right, to go to the kitchen or to join them in the kitchen. It's like a ir a la cocina o a unirnos a ellos a la cocina. Period. Good. I was preparing the dinner while the father, to the kitchen. Good. I was preparing the dinner while my father was telling me everything he had done at work. Great, great. This is great use of past perfect. Very good. He had done at work. And this is a new idea. If you realize, after and you have another subject. And as my sister didn't learn, right? When you use in auxiliaries, you have to use base verb, right? And how my sister, I think, yes, y cómo, right? And how my sister didn't learn to drive the car since that desde que. Even though you say that in Spanish, in English you only say since. Okay, since they bought the past year, no, since they bought it, the car, no compraron el auto last year, right? Para el año pasado, not the past year, since they bought it last year. I think that's it, Joanna. Let me know, please, if you have any questions about it. Or comments. Okay, thank you very much. Again, it was very good. A reader, I think we're going to finish with you, please, reader.
Okay, Victor. When I was in high school, I played soccer. Thanks to this, I knew many places and many friends because I traveled to many tournaments. I really like to train very early in the morning. Once when I participated in a tournament, I injured my knee. It was a very strong pain. I broke my ligaments that time. I stopped playing for 6 months. It was very difficult for me, but my family and my friends always supported me.
Thank you very much, reader. And again, great. I can see with all the writing exercises that you work very good with these one. And again, these suggestions is just to improve that one. Okay, so good. When I was in high school, right, then this is the next part of your idea, comma, I played soccer. All right, so that's only one idea divided into clauses. Then semicolon, good. Thanks to this, if you realize, that's the introduction. Thanks to this, now I give my idea, comma, I knew many places, or again, recommendation. This is not something you have to do, but this is optional, all right? I got to know. Like, again, the difference is just between conocí or llegué a conocer. That's it. Many places and many friends because I traveled to many tournaments. Okay, good. No comma because doesn't need comma. I really liked to train very early in the morning. Great. Once, in your case, you're not using a sentence like once I finished, once I complete that. No, in your case, you're only using once. Then you're going to need a comma there. Once, when I was participating in a tournament, comma. So why those many commas in this case, reader? Because one is the introductory phrase. When I participated in a tournament is the first part of your clause, the first clause, the time clause. And I injured my knee is the result clause. All right, so comma after the introductory phrase, comma after time clause when is at the beginning, and to go to the result clause. It was a very strong pain, right? Even though they are related, my recommendation, if you feel that they are related, don't use period, but at least use a semicolon, right? Semicolon, it was a very strong pain. Then you have the option again of using semicolon, but it's up to you, all right? I can leave it over there. I broke my ligaments that time. I stopped playing for pum, 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 pum. Here, this is good, okay? For 6 months, period. This is good in speaking, right? You use a lot of this one. But in writing, it's always advisable. I'm trying to work with academic writing. So you're always going to use it. When you feel that there is no subject over there, the best option is always to use it, okay? And it's formally. If you only say was in writing, that's going to be incorrect, right? And again, academically speaking, for writing with your friends or for speaking, it's good. It was very difficult for me, but my family and my friends always supported me. I think that's it, a reader. Do you have any questions about those ideas? Let me know, please.
No, teacher. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think that's it. If I missed some of your writing exercises, please let me know. If you still have doubts, also let me know, all right? Again, what I'm trying to do here is with this extra practice, trying to help you, at least with practice, all right, related to punctuation marks and how you use past tenses. Again, remember only one thing to finish and go to the lesson. Only use the past perfect. Some of you use it. Adriana, you were using that, great. Only in those two corrections, Adriana, because you didn't have the second part. Okay, if you don't have the second part, or if it's not obvious, then it's better to use only simple past instead of past perfect. And in your case, Joanna, in that sentence over there, it was clear that it was something before another event, so you use the past perfect, right? So again, recommendation, only when the context is clear, very clear, or when you have two parts. Only in that case, use the past perfect. If not, it's better to only use simple past or past continuous. Okay, that's it. Any questions before going to the lesson, please let me know. No? All right. Let's go then to today's lesson that is very simple. That's why we got to practice infinitives. This is mainly a review. There you go. All right. Actually, more than a review, the first part is a review. The second and most part of this one is something new because we didn't work with adjectives. So let's start with questions. Camila, I'm going to start with you. What is an infinitive, Camila? And try to give me one example using an infinitive in a sentence, please.
Well, in the verbs, the infinitive is like the basic form of the verb. For example, we can use to plus the verb, in this case, to talk, to travel.
Very good, very good. And what example can you give me using one infinitive to talk, to travel, or any infinitive that you want as part of a full sentence, Camila? What do you say?
Maybe I am going to travel to La Paz next month.
Good, that's one possibility. I'm going to travel. In that case, actually, yes, you have the structure to travel, but grammatically speaking, all right, again, you don't have to be an expert on that one, but when you use going to, actually going to is the structure, and then travel is only the base form, because you say going to plus a verb in the base form. But what about in that case? So you can consider, grammatically speaking, that the future with be going to doesn't use infinitive, all right? It uses the base verb. Or in other books, all right, I think Cambridge or some other universities consider that there's no base verb and there's the barefoot or bare infinitive and the to infinitive. But all right, in this one with Pearson, we're going to consider base verb, travel, infinitive to travel, gerund, traveling, right? And again, with be going to, we don't have infinitive because to is part of the expression be going to. So it's not infinitive. What other idea can you give me, Camila? For example, after some verbs as need, want, we have to use infinitive. What example can you give me using those verbs and after an infinitive?
Maybe it can be I want to sleep in my bed.
Great. Thank you, Camila. That's correct, right? I want to sleep in my bed because want to is not an expression. Want is only a verb. To sleep is an infinitive that you use after want because that's the rule, right? You don't say I want sleep. I want sleeping. You always say I want to sleep, right? You know that. Good. Thank you, Camila. Now, adjectives. This is for you, please, Mauricio. What is an adjective, Mauricio? How can you define an adjective? And again, try to give me one example using an adjective in a sentence, please.
An adjective is a word that describes some things. Maybe it says a characteristic of this thing.
Okay, good. Description, characteristics. That's great. What example can you give me using an adjective as part of a sentence, a complete sentence?
I was very happy. I was very happy when I saw my mom.
Great. Very good. In that case, happy is the adjective describing how you felt, right? Thank you, Mauricio. Good. Those are adjectives, right? Happy, sad, interesting, interested, amazing, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Mauricio. Now, the noun is going to be for you, please, a reader. What is a noun, reader? How can you define a noun? And try to use a noun in any sentence, please, reader.
Nouns are words that refer to places, people, animals, ideas, things, qualities.
Correct. Very good. That's a great definition. How can you use one noun in any sentence,
Um, the kids are playing with the ball.
Very good, right? And in that case, we have even more than one noun, right? The kids, one noun, the ball, another noun, right? The kids are playing with the ball, two nouns over there. Thank you, reader. There you go, right? That's just to be sure that we understand that, every detail. It means that you are going to use now infinitives with adjectives and nouns, all right? It means with words that describe things and with words that name objects and people. Let's take a look at the first part. The review. You know how to use infinitive. We're not going to practice. We're only going to read this one. Joanna, you're going to read the first part, please, Joanna. I'm going to mark it. The introduction and the first two uses of infinitive, please.
And let's remember that we use infinitive in a specific situation. There are four main ways of using it. First, as the subject of a sentence, verb plus, okay, subject plus verb plus complement to it is delicious. Second, after a specific verb like have, need, want, she wants to go to the party.
Thank you, Johanna. Great. So the first two, right? You can use infinitives as subjects. To eat is delicious. To dance is my passion, right? To learn is what I want. So the subject. And after some verbs, right? Like, have, need, want, decide, you have options. After those verbs, infinitive. What about number 3 and number 4, please? Let me see what's down below. Adriana, please.
With another person that performs the action, join the class. I need you to go to join the class. She wants him to be her boyfriend. I was expecting you to finish it out. To talk about purpose, I study English to travel abroad.
Thank you, Adriana. So the last two, right? When you use an object, a person, before the infinitive, I want you to read number 3 and number 4, right? I need you to help me with this. She wants him to be back. All right, so someone wants, expects, needs someone else to do something, right? You already know that. We learned that together. And number 4, as purpose, right? In order to. I study English because I want to travel abroad. But instead of saying that, because I want to travel abroad, you can simply say, I study English to travel abroad. That's my purpose, right? I study psychology to, I don't know, whatever purpose you have, right? You can say to help people, to understand people's minds, to do this and that. It depends on your purpose. So just to practice, again, this is only speaking, no writing, because we already learned this together. Let's work in some examples. I'm going up again. And Camila, let's start with you, please. Give me one sentence using number 1, using infinitive as the subject of your idea, and also number 4, please, using infinitive as the purpose of your idea. Let's do it, please.
The first one, it can be to study is important.
Very good.
And the other one, it was the first example, teacher?
Yes, please, and number 4.
Okay, it can be, I cooked the dinner to make you happy.
Okay, very good. Great. Thank you, Camila. Do you have any questions about these 4 elements?
No, teacher.
All right, thank you. Mauricio, let's go with you now, please. You're going to use number 2 and number 3, please. One example of each. One, infinitive after verbs, and the second one, you have to use a person before the infinitive.
Okay, teacher. I have to travel this week.
Great, very good.
The third one, right?
Yes, that's right. Number 3, in which you use a person or an object that is a people before the infinitive.
He makes me to go to the cinema on Wednesday.
All right, in that one, Mauricio, there's one detail. In that case, only some verbs can be used with infinitive, even with object. For example, need, want, expect. All right. If you use make, it's not incorrect, but that's another structure, because with make, Mauricio, you only use the base verb. Okay, you can say she made me do that. So you don't say to do that. With make, you only say do. So with infinitives, you only have certain verbs, Mauricio. In this case, try to use one of those 3, please, Mauricio. Need, want, expect.
He wants me to go to the cinema with him on Wednesday.
Okay, very good. That's great, Mauricio. Let me know, please, if you have any questions. Again, the only detail is that only certain verbs can be used with infinitives. Other ones are going to be used with gerunds, or other ones, as make, are going to be used with the base verb. Do you have any questions about it?
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much, Mauricio. And just in case your partners have a list, I'm going to try to send you a list. We have a list, right, of verbs that we can use with infinitive and that we can use with gerund. All right, some other ones are not going to be possible to be used with that one. Let's continue, please. Joanna, with you again, number 1 and number 4, please, Joanna. In number 1, you use infinitive as a subject, and in number 4, you use infinitive as purpose of your idea.
She need to go. She need to go the doctor.
Okay, only 2 details are missing there. She, as is she, third person, then she needs.
She needs.
Right? Good. She needs to go. Then after go, to mention the place, you need al, right? So that's 2. She needs to go to the doctor. One more time that sentence, please, Joanna.
She needs to go to the doctor.
Very good. Now, number 4, please. You have to use infinitive as purpose of your idea.
I help you to prepare the dinner.
Okay, if you say I help you to prepare the dinner, it means that it's the purpose, right? Es el propósito. Si esta analogía significa lo mismo, está correcta tu oración. Si no, no. Es como si me estuvieras diciendo, I help you because I want to prepare the dinner. If that's correct, it's okay. If not, it will be different. So what do you say, Joanna? Is that your idea? I help you because I want to prepare the dinner? If that's the purpose, y el propósito es preparar la cena, y por eso ayudas, está muy bien. That's the case. Then. Okay, good. That's the case, then it's okay. I help you to prepare the dinner, right? So you're helping, and the purpose of doing that is preparing the dinner. That's it then, Joanna. Do you have any questions about these structures?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Reader, the same with you, please. Reader, number 2 and number 3, please. Number 2 after a verb, and number 3 with an object that is a person before the infinitive.
He wants to run a marathon.
Very good.
Number 3, teacher?
Yes, please, number 3.
Okay. I want you to get to dinner in time.
Okay, correct. I want you to get to dinner on time. That's it. Thank you, reader. Any questions about this review, about these 4 steps or 4 possibilities to use infinitive?
Not sure.
All right, thank you. And Adriana, let's finish with you, please, Adriana. Again, number 1 and number 4, please, Adriana. One sentence using infinitive as the subject and one using it as purpose.
Teacher, la primera es directo, ¿no? O sea, es directo con tú.
Exactly. The first one, directly the infinitive.
To travel is amazing.
Correct. Very good. And number 4, you need to use infinitive as purpose.
I learned Facebook ads to work.
Okay, good. I learned Facebook ads, right, to work. Great, thank you, Adriana. Any questions about this one?
No, teacher.
No, thank you very much. So let's keep working, and now we're going to learn these details. All right, good. Just to remember, infinitive, remember, is to plus the base form, right? To eat, to drink. And the negative is only to say not to, okay? Don't say to not. You have to say not to. Not to travel, all right? Not to study is something that we don't have to do, all right? For example, that's extra. Now, this is what I care of, adjectives. These are adjectives, and look how after adjectives, you can also use infinitives. You know that you can use infinitives after, well, first as subjects. Then you can use infinitives after verbs, okay? Verbs. We didn't learn about adjectives. You can use infinitives after some objects, you, him, her, and you can use infinitives for a purpose, okay? I studied this to do that. But this is new, infinitives after adjectives. Let's read this, please. Camila, we're going to start with you, please, Camila. Read the list of items, the list of adjectives, and then read the adjectives directly in the examples.
Able, unable, anxious, likely, unlikely, ready, prepared, willing, and unwilling. And the examples are the first one, unfortunately, I was unable to work for over a week. The second one, I am really tired. I am ready to go to bed.
Thank you, Camila. So, it's easy, right? Any sentence, any tense, cualquier oración, cualquier tiempo verbal, no importa, mientras usen uno de estos adjetivos. Able, unable, anxious, likely, unlikely, ready, prepared, unwilling, and willing, right? If you use any of those adjectives, you can use infinitive afterwards. Unable to work, all right? Unable to work, no disponible para trabajar. Ready to go, listo para ir. All right, just that. Let's start practicing this one, please. Let's go to the document. You have the link already. You already wrote over there. So please, let's go to the document and try to write one, all right? Let's make it two. Any of these adjectives, please. Choose any of these adjectives and write 2 sentences using adjectives plus infinitive. Okay, it can be present, it can be past, it can be future. Any tense that you want, please. Let's do it. We're going to give ourselves only like a couple of minutes so that we can go to the next part. All right, I'm setting the timer. Let's do it, please.
Teacher, ¿cuántos ejemplos?
Only 2, please, Adriana. Any adjectives that you want.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can use the formula over here. Right? It says subject, be, present, past, future, adjective, infinitive, complement. Okay, if you follow that formula, then your idea is going to be correct. Okay, in 30 more seconds, please, we start checking. Remember, only 2 examples using any of these adjectives. Able, unable, anxious, likely, unlikely, ready, prepared, willing, unwilling. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to check the ones finished so that we can continue working. Okay, good. This is yours, Camila, if I'm not wrong. No, Mauricio, this is yours. Yes, Mauricio, let's begin reading your examples, please.
Okay. I was anxious to go home. She's ready to start the test.
Great. That's it. Thank you very much, Mauricio. I see no mistakes, no observations. Everything seems to be all right. Okay, good. Thank you very much. This is yours, Camila. Let's read yours now, please.
I was very anxious to know the result of the test. I will be able to take care of your house while you're on vacation.
Okay, thank you very much, Camila. Again, anxious to know, able to take. There you go. Thank you very much again. Good. Adriana, let me see, but I think she left. Yes, something happened to Adriana. So I'm going to read, well, I'm going to wait until she's back. In the meantime, please, Joanna, you're writing yours. Finish your, please, Joanna. And Reader, let's read yours in the meantime, please, Reader.
She's studied so much that she is able to pass the exam. He is ready to travel tomorrow.
Okay, okay, there you go. Again, able to pass and ready to travel. Thank you, Reader. I'm going up and let's read yours now. This is yours, Joanna. Yes, you have them ready. Read your ideas, please, Joanna.
I was like, I was likely scared for WhatsApp. I was anxious to travel.
Okay, in number 2, it's correct, right? Only the spelling, anxious with OU to travel. This is good. Remember, in this lesson, Joanna, you have to use infinitives. Tenemos que usar infinitivos en esta lección. Entonces, aquí sí lo tienes, right? Anxious to travel. Now, likely. Likely, it's like possible. Significa algo posible. Okay, for example, if you say, I'm likely to do it, significa que es posible que tú lo vas a hacer. All right, entonces es posible que vas a hacer la siguiente acción. If you say, I was likely scared, it's not that incorrect, no está tan mal, pero no aplica a nuestro tema de ahora. After likely, después de likely tendrías que usar un infinitivo. Pero si usas infinitivo con likely, Joanna, significa que posiblemente vas a hacer tú eso, no que tú vas a sentir. O a menos que lo uses en pasivo, en la forma, sí, la forma del pasivo, que sería posiblemente yo iba a asustarme. ¿Y cómo sería eso? I was likely to get or to be scared. De esa manera tú estás diciendo que con posibilidad ya te vas a asustar. ¿Ya? La cuestión es que después de likely se espera que sea algo más activo. Por ejemplo, I'm likely to go there. ¿No? Es posiblemente que vaya. I was likely to feel bad. ¿No? Era muy posible que me iba a sentir mal. Something like that. But again, the rule here, Joanna, is to use infinitives after likely, after anxious, to use this structure. Do you have any questions about that one, Joanna?
Teacher, is possible I was likely to see that scared?
Okay, if you say that one, it's like saying, es posible que yo vea No, es como si me estuvieses diciendo eso. Es posible que yo vea
Ujú.
lo que me asustó. If that's the meaning, si es lo que se quiere decir, es correcto. And here, only one detail for what I saw. Solamente el sujeto está faltando. Pero sí, es posible decir eso, Joanna. It's possible to say it if that's the meaning of your idea.
Okay.
All right? Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think it's done. I think Adriana is back. So, Adriana, let's read your ideas, please, with adjectives and infinitive.
They are able to cook 50 plates per day. I am prepared to take a test tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much, Adriana. Plates, it's not bad, but it refers mainly to the object. Okay, it can also be like the food, but mainly is the object. Perhaps it's better if you say dishes. The dish is going to refer to the plate and the food on the plate at the same time. Okay, that's the only thing, Adriana. Thank you very much. There you go. Again, any questions, just let me know. I'm not asking you that often because I know that it's not that hard to do it. Let's go to the second part, adjectives of reason. After these adjectives, you have to give me a reason with the infinitive. Okay, so you say, we were happy to come. So in other words, we were happy because that happened. Okay, so it's reason. The adjectives for that purpose are going to be the following. This is going to be now for you, please, Mauricio. Read the list of adjectives, please, Mauricio.
Okay. Amazed, delight, disappointed, glad, happy, pleased, proud, relieved, sad, sorry, surprised, unhappy.
Perfect. Thank you, Mauricio. Let's practice only these two adjectives, please, one more time. Let's read them only one more time, please.
Delight,
Okay, and the other one?
pleased,
Okay, now good. The second one is good now, pleased, great. This one, delight, right? Delight is going to be like only base form, let's say, delight. But if you're using delighting or delighted, then you need to use the ed, all right? So delighted. Let's repeat that one, please, Mauricio.
delighted.
Okay, then thank you, Mauricio. The next part, please, the examples are going to be for you, a reader. Let's read the examples, please, reader.
Okay. We were happy to come to the end of our journey. We were happy because we had come to the end of our journey. John was surprised to see me. He was surprised because he saw me.
Thank you, reader. Now here it's clear, right? The adjective, the infinitive that you use after the adjective gives reason. Es la razón el infinitivo que están usando. We were happy to come. ¿Cuál es la razón por la que están felices? De haber venido, right? To come, o de haber llegado en este caso, to come to the end of our journey. John was surprised to see me. John estaba sorprendido. ¿Por qué? To see me. La razón es verme. Okay, por verme. So, to give reason after these adjectives, infinitive. So the same, please, guys. Let's go to the document and let's write two examples, please. One more time. Two examples using any of these adjectives, please, plus infinitive, okay? Don't forget, you have to use infinitive. Happy to come, amazed to be, delighted to be, disappointed to come, glad to see, happy to be, pleased to, okay? Infinitive for all of them, please. Let's do it, and in 2 minutes we check it, please. right, so it's about to be the 2 minutes. We're going to check this one. Please remember 2 examples. Any of these adjectives: amazed, delighted, disappointed, glad, happy, pleased, proud, relieved, sad, sorry, surprised, and unhappy. And after these adjectives, you have to give me reason using infinitive. All right, so with that logic, once again, let's go check what we got. I'm going upwards. All right. So let's start one more time with you, please. Mauricio, let's read your ideas, please.
I was glad to announce the inauguration. She was unhappy to return to her country.
Okay, great. Very good, Mauricio. I think they are perfect. Again, no observations. We're going to practice only this little word over here. And again, this is just in order to improve. Remember that the A and the U together, it's better if they sound as O, only like O. So it's better if you read it like inauguration. Inauguration. Let's read that one more time, please, Mauricio. Only that word.
Okay, inauguration.
Okay, thank you, Mauricio. Now, Camila, let's do the same with you, please. Let's read your 2 new ideas.
Valentina is proud to present her new book. They were sorry to leave the party early.
Okay, thank you very much, Camila. Great, no observations. I think everything was good. Thank you very much. Adriana, yes, let's read yours now, please, Adriana.
I am happy to know other countries. I am proud to finish this project.
Great, thank you, Adriana. Again, correct. Happy to know, proud to finish. Joanna, let's do the same with you, please.
She was unhappy to live far. Okay. They are surprised to learn fast.
Okay, good. I think they are good. And I'm happy to leave, surprised to learn, right? Only some spelling mistakes, no problem, right? Surprised to learn, good. Let me see what's the thing over here, far away. Okay, yes. Usually you use far in this way, Joanna. Solamente lejos, como en español, ¿no? Lejos, en español es más común. En inglés es mejor decir 2 cosas. La sugerencia de acá, far away, que significa lejos como tal, o far from, que significa lejos de un lugar específico. Por ejemplo, tú podrías decir far from the city, ya, lejos de la ciudad, una opción. Or simply you can say far away. Far away, ambos juntos sí se traduce como lejos. Pero far solamente significa lejos cuando está en conjunto con otros elementos como estos dos. All right, just that one, Joanna. Do you have any questions about that one?
No.
Okay, thank you. Your sentences are correct. Thank you very much. Reader, let's continue with you, please, Reader.
I am prompt to work with you. He was sad to lose the game.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, I think it's working very good. We're only going to read one more time this adjective, please, Reader. That one, how do you read that one more time?
Prompt.
Okay, the first time it was a little bit more like oh, but yes, it's better if it sounds more like ah, right? Proud. One more time, this one, please. More like open that ah, proud.
Proud.
Okay, thank you, Reader. There you go. Good. Now let's go to the last 2. Okay, the last 2. Opinion. The same idea, but instead of reason, you give opinion after these adjectives. Again, let's divide this in 2. We read it and we practice. The first part, please, the list of items is for you. Joanna, please. Let's read those adjectives.
Clever, difficult, easy, foolish, okay, hard, kind, nice, possible, impossible, right, wrong, silly.
Okay, good. Only one detail, everything was good. This one, double O is going to be more like ooh, so foolish. Let's repeat that one, please.
Foolish.
Foolish. There you go. Thank you, John. You know, foolish, silly, are kind of the same, right? Something dumb. Algo tonto, sin sentido. All right, foolish, silly. Great. Clever, difficult, easy, foolish, hard, kind, nice, possible, impossible, right, wrong, silly. After those adjectives, the infinitive is going to mean opinion, like in these examples. And this is for you, please, Adriana. Let's read the examples, please, Adriana. Are you there, Adriana?
Yes, teacher. Examples?
Yes, please.
Examples. It's easy to play the piano, but it's very difficult to play well. He spoke so quickly that it was impossible to understand him.
All right. Thank you, Adriana. So again, any idea after this after these adjectives is going to be considered as opinion. All right. It's easy to play the piano. Okay, according to me, it's my opinion. But it's difficult to play well. That's also my opinion. He spoke so quickly that it was impossible to understand. All right, that's description. You can consider that opinion. That's more like description, right? But then you can consider this as opinion or description about the previous idea. In this case, easy, impossible, and difficult. So let's do the same, please, guys. This is one of the last things we're going to do. One more thing and we finish, but two more examples, please. Any of these adjectives and write a couple of examples. All right, we're going to have 1 minute and 30 seconds to finish this one, and we check that one, please. Again, any question, just let me know. All right, in 30 more seconds, we'll start checking. Let's remember two examples, please. Any of these adjectives, and after the adjective, opinion with infinitive and complement. All right, so I'm going to try to check some of your examples so that we can go to the last part of this class. Good, let's start with you this time. I see yours now, a reader. I think this is yours. Yes, let's read your ideas, please, reader.
It's wrong to tell what your patients say. It's possible to finish tasks by tomorrow.
Okay, good. Only when you tell this word, it's going to be more like a. So, patience, patient. Let's repeat that one, please, reader.
Patient.
There you go. Thank you very much. And this one, the apostrophe, right? But that's a typo, right? Something that it was because of the keyword. Thank you. I'm going up now. Again, I want to verify. Joanna, This is you're still finishing that one. Keep finishing, please, the last idea, Joanna. You're still working also yours. Adriana, I think you have yours. Yes, this is you, if I'm not wrong. Camila, let's read your ideas, please, Camila.
It's really nice to meet you after all this time. She was so secure that it was really easy to talk with.
Okay, great. Thank you, Camila. Again, no observations, good ideas, easy to talk, right? Nice to meet. Great. Now it's you, Mauricio. Please, let's read yours.
It was hard to believe that it was handmade. It is possible to get a scholarship abroad.
Okay, great. Possible to get, hard to believe. Thank you, Mauricio. I think, again, it's very good. Now, let me go down again. I'm scrolling down so that I can read yours. This is yours, Adriana. Let's read your ideas, please, Adriana.
It was possible to buy actions. It is hard to train up.
Okay, possible to buy, hard to train out, right? If in this case you mean in the exterior, right, like on the street or something like that, it's better perhaps if you say outside, or if you mention what specific park, right? It's hard to train in the park, on the street, or directly outside would work as well. Just that one, Adriana. Thank you very much. Joanna, let's continue with you, please.
This is hard to learn, but is exciting. We were wrong to sing the song that they asked us.
Thank you, Joanna. Good. The second one is very good. The first one as well. I know you have mistakes, but only related to this, right? Learn. It's going to be L-E-A-R-N. And this one, excite. Si quiero usar emocionante como adjetivo, recuerda que tiene dos opciones, Joanna. Exciting, que produce emoción. Excited, con ed, que sientes la emoción. In this case, estás describiendo a cómo es el proceso de aprender. Así que, ing. All right, it is exciting, emocionante. And here, as you have to complete sentences, right? Como tienes dos oraciones completas, subject, verb, complement, fanboy, comma. Okay, that will be it, Joanna. Thank you very much. Very good. And let's go to the last one, all right, to finish today. This is going to be the pause modifier. And this is for you, please, Camila. Let's read the list of nouns this time, Camila.
Ability, attempt, chance, desire, failure, need, opportunity, refusal, and wish.
Thank you, Camila. Those are nouns. Now you're not working with adjectives. These are nouns, okay? An ability, an attempt, a chance, a desire, a failure. A need could be an opportunity, a refusal, a wish. Okay, this could be, again, nouns. The examples are the following ones, please. Mauricio, let's read the examples, please.
Okay. They gave him an opportunity to escape. He was annoyed by her refusal to answer. I have no desire to be rich. There is no need to shoot.
Thank you very much, right? Needs to shout. It's going to be more like ow. Great. So after these nouns, después de estos sustantivos, dense cuenta que están usando estos como sustantivos, no como verbos. ¿Ok? Para que no haya esa confusión, no vamos a usar estos de acá. And these ones. All right, try to use these other ones. Y para usar esos tienen que usarlos nuevamente como sustantivos. Esos están mucho después del verbo. Mira, they gave him an opportunity. And they are called post modifiers because they modify that idea. ¿Ya? Porque modifican la idea añadiendo algo extra. An opportunity. About what? Or to do what? To escape. All right. He was annoyed by her refusal, su rechazo, to answer, a responder. Okay, so any of these nouns plus infinitive, it's going to be a post modifier. But remember, they have to be nouns. No los usen como verbos, como sustantivos. All right, so mentioning that, please, let's work with that to finish today. Go to the document and let's finish with 2 examples, please. Choose 2 nouns and write 2 examples using the noun plus infinitive and complement if it's necessary. Let's do it, please. We check that one and we finish today's class. Okay, so we're going to start checking and all right, we finished the class with that. If you are going to have any questions, please don't forget to let me know. This time I'm going to ask you about it so that I know that everything is clear. So let me go up. All right, we're going to see how you're doing. You're still working on that. Please keep working. And I'm going to check the ones that are ready. So I see yours, Camila. I believe that it's ready. So let's read the 2 ideas, please.
He has the ability to cook very well. They had the opportunity to dance in the contest.
Great. No observations. Everything seems to be good. Now that this is the end of this lesson, Camila, do you have any questions about it? Do you understand how to use the infinitive with certain adjectives and with certain nouns?
Yes, teacher, everything is clear.
Okay, thank you, Camila. Good. Now, I'm going up just in case. All right, keep working, please. Adriana, this is yours. Good. Yours is also ready, Adriana. Let's read yours, please.
They have the opportunity to invest in Bitcoins. She doesn't have the ability to fly in parachutes.
Okay, good. Again, no observations. This is the last part, Adriana. So do you have any questions? Do you understand how to use infinitive with these adjectives and nouns?
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. Joanna, let me see if you're there. Good, I think yours is also ready. Joanna, let's read your ideas, please, Joanna.
They had the chance to change their work. I had the ability to bake many breads in 1 hour.
Okay, in 1 hour. Good, good. Yeah, very good. This one, this pronunciation, please read one more time these two words, Joanna.
Chance to change.
Okay, good. Chance to change, right? The chance to change. Good. This one, bread is uncountable, right? So you're not going to say many, instead you're going to say much. Porque el pan en inglés es no contable, right? So to bake much bread in an hour, right? There you go. Okay, that would be. Now, in general, again, Joanna, do you have any questions about this one? Let me know, please.
No.
All right, thank you very much. And reader, let's continue with you, please, reader. Let's read your ideas.
He has the ability to move his ears. She has a chance to repeat the test.
There you go. Great. Again, no observations. Seems to be very good, reader. Any questions about this topic? Let me know, please, reader.
No, teacher, it's clear.
All right, thank you. And I'm going to work with you, Mauricio. This is yours. Now let me see what is yours. Yes, this is yours, Mauricio. Let's read yours, please.
Okay. She has the chance to get a better salary. I have the ability to approve the test.
Okay, good. Again, no observations. They are used correctly, Mauricio. Any questions in general about infinitives for reason, opinion, and using it with nouns, Mauricio?
No, teacher.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And again, no, not tomorrow, next week, Mauricio, with you. I know that we have some doubts about it, but we're going to see other possibilities in which we can use ones at the end of the sentence. That it's possible, but it has to be made in a different way. All right, we're going to check that on Tuesday together so that you can see that possibility as well. All right?
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. And thanks all of you guys. Let's finish here. I'm going to send the survey as always. Let's answer that, please, and then you may leave. Don't forget to complete the assignments until today, 11:59 p.m., and until Sunday to take the third quiz. Have a good night and see you on Monday.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Teacher, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.